So, what are the implications of this for the long run in the case of market structure of perfect competition? We'll take a look at two cases, a high price and a low price, and see what this means. So, for example, if the price is high, I'll call this PH. Keep in mind, too, we notice that the firm would choose to produce where the price is equal to the marginal cost, produce at this point here, which means that the price is greater than the average cost, as we saw. The firm is making a positive economic profit. This high price would attract competitors. New firms would want to enter into this business. This is the case where people hear that if you invest in Bitcoin or you learn JavaScript or new computer system, you can make lots of money. So we'd expect under circumstances like this that the price would fall. Notice that as a price changes, it has no effect on these cost curves. Cost curves are based on technology. We're not changing the technology of the firm. Why would the price fall? Well, we can see it here. If we look at the market as a whole, there's going to be new entrants into the market, into this business, this sector. People that want to become computer programmers or something. And as the supply shifts to the right, we notice that the price would fall, and we'd expect to arbitrarily call this the long run price. So as a result, the price would fall until there was zero economic profits, and we could now call this PLR. Here, call this LR instead of H. Now we'd wind up here, I've switched it already. The quantity produced would be, let's call it the long run. Economic profit, the rent would be equal to zero. Of course, accounting profit would be greater than zero, but there would be no grass on the other side of the fence, wouldn't be greener. We can say also that the price in the long run will equal the marginal cost, which will equal the average cost. These all will be the same. You can see it here with the blue line. Keep in mind, too, that this blue line represents, in effect, the demand curve, perfectly elastic for an individual firm. We're looking at the individual firm here. Now, if, on the other hand, by chance, the price happens to be below the average cost, so we're in this situation here, let's call this PL. In this case, once again, the firm is going to choose to produce where the price is equal to the marginal cost. That's what it, in this case, will be minimizing its losses. We can see that here because the price is below the average cost. It's got a negative economic profit. This means that this is not attractive to competitors. They're not interested in getting into this market. But furthermore, this firm itself, while it will continue to operate, would like to leave the business. As soon as its fixed costs become variable, it can then choose to cancel its lease. Can't cancel the lease, but when the lease is not up to renewal, then it won't renew the lease. This is a situation where a firm is looking for alternatives, finding a way to get out of the business. Another way to view it, too, is that if this is the expected return, fixed cost is interpreted as the expected return on the investment, then we'd predict that the share price would go down because it's not realizing the expected profits. As they say, that the firm would like to leave, if possible, this sector. Some people, of course, might stay, believing that if we interpret the fixed cost as being an expected return, some people might say, well, the expected return will arise sometime in the future, so I'm going to hold tight. To the extent that firms leave the business, leave this sector or this market, then as the firms leave, we'd expect to see the price rise, increase. And let's take a look at that now. Here we've got the situation where the supply curve, we'd expect to shift to the left as firms leave. And as they do that, the price would rise to the long run price, indicated by a new equilibrium. We can see this now here where the price would rise. Again, the cost technology doesn't change through all these changes. The technology is fixed for the individual firm. The price would rise as firms leave the sector. The remaining firms would see the higher price mean that we'd return to a situation where the economic profit rent would equal zero. The firm, of course, would produce at the point where the price is equal to the marginal cost. Quantity of an individual firm would be indicated here. And once again, the price would equal the marginal cost, average cost. There's no economic profit. It's not desirable to leave or enter the business. The firm is receiving a normal rate of return on its investment, as it would in any other industry. The notion here is that this is an idea of stability, in the sense that if for some reason the price is greater than the long run price, then there's going to be entry into the market pushing the price down. If, on the other hand, for some reason there's an external change causing the price to be lower than the long run price, then we'd expect the price to rise as firms left the market. So that the long run equal, in the sense that once all adjustments have taken place, all entry or exit from the sector has taken place, we'd expect to see a long run price equal to the average, lowest point of the average cost curve. You'll notice also this is where the economies of scale are unit economies of scale, and the price is also critically equal to the marginal cost. We draw this conclusion here is that in the long run, we'd expect to see no firm making an economic profit. The quantity produced by an individual firm is going to be at the lowest average cost, and the price across the entire sector amongst all firms will be equal to the marginal cost. That's going to become a very important result later when we look at the welfare implications of perfect competition. Keep in mind, too, that any individual firm is not doing this because they want to. This is an observation of, or an example of Adam Smith's famous invisible hand. The firms are not doing this because they want to find the lowest point of the average cost curve. Each individual firm is merely matching up the quantity such that the market price, is equal to the firm's marginal cost. Because that's where it either maximizes economic profit or minimizes its economic loss. So it's not intended for the firm to try and find the lowest point of the average cost curve. This occurs through entry and exit from the market, and each individual firm, in effect, maximizing its economic profit.